On November 11, 1994, an auction was taking place in New York for a 500-year-old handwritten book, and some of the richest people in the world were part of this auction to get their hands on it. But at that time, no one knew that this book would become one of the most expensive books in the world. Among the bidders, there was one man who wasn't physically present at the auction but was bidding via telephone. He was determined to buy this book at any cost. Eventually, he won the auction at $30.8 million, which today would amount to nearly 400 Indian rupees crores. That man was Bill Gates, and the name of the book was Codex Leicester, a 72-page handwritten manuscript written in mirror writing from right to left. But what made Bill Gates so interested in this manuscript? What was so special about the Codex? To understand that, you must know about the mysterious genius who wrote it, a man whose entire life and artworks have remained subjects of intense discussion and unsolved mysteries for over 500 years. He was not raised by his birth mother, and the father who raised him never gave him his surname. He was banned from attending school, disappeared from the world for 2 years, and when he returned, he emerged as a painter, engineer, architect, inventor, and a super genius who could write with both hands. Some believe that during those 2 missing years, he may have connected with aliens, a parallel universe, or some divine force. This was a man who, 500 years ago, designed flying machines, parachutes, hand gliders, and practical battle cannons. His painting, the mysterious Mona Lisa, became the most expensive painting in the world and an iconic symbol of his brilliance. Yes, the person who painted this masterpiece was none other than Leonardo da Vinci, a mysteriously brilliant man with a unique and extraordinary mind. Let's dive into the fascinating life of Leonardo da Vinci, starting with his childhood. He was born on April 15, 1452, in a small village in Italy. His mother, Caterina, a poor farmer, was unmarried and unable to raise him. However, his biological father, a well-respected lawyer and notary, took responsibility for him. The child was named Leonardo, but he was not allowed to take his father's surname because society at the time did not accept illegitimate children. Most such children were abandoned. Leonardo was born in a village called Vinci. In those times, people would add their village's name to their own. So he became Leonardo da Vinci, Leonardo of Vinci. Illegitimate children were not allowed to attend formal school, and so Leonardo never went to school, but he did learn basic reading, writing, and math from his uncle, who deeply loved him and had a strong interest in nature, something Leonardo inherited. He made nature his school, spending hours studying plants, animals, and birds and trying to sketch them. At the age of 14, in 1466, recognizing his love for art, his father sent him to Florence to study under Andrea del Verrocchio, a well-known artist and sculptor. There, Leonardo learned painting, sculpture, and metalwork, studying various disciplines for 10 years. At the end of his training, Verrocchio gave him a final assignment, a painting titled The Baptism of Christ. Leonardo painted one of the angels in it so beautifully that it is said Verrocchio swore never to paint again. After leaving Verrocchio's workshop in 1476, Leonardo started his independent career in Florence. During this time, he became close to a 17-year-old male model, Jacopo Saltarelli, who was also a male escort. Due to their frequent public appearances together, Leonardo was accused of homosexuality, a serious crime in Florence at the time that could lead to execution or exile. Leonardo was imprisoned for several weeks, but due to his father's and his own political connections, he was acquitted. Leonardo was imprisoned for several weeks, but due to his father's and his own political connections, he was acquitted. Some historians believe Leonardo was gay, as he never married, had no known romantic links to any woman, and showed a deep interest in the male form in his notebooks. But out of fear of society, he may have never publicly acknowledged it. After this incident, Leonardo withdrew from public life for about 2 years, during which he disappeared mysteriously. His notebooks make no mention of what he did or where he went. It's as if those pages were erased from the book of his life. When he returned, he had changed completely, his thinking, his perspective, and his abilities had evolved. Now, Leonardo was not only a master painter and sculptor but also an architect, engineer, scientist, inventor, and a super genius ambidextrous writer. He could write with one hand and draw with the other simultaneously, and wrote in mirror script, right to left. He was now an artist with a scientific mind, or perhaps a scientist with a deep understanding of art. He was one of the first to unite science and art. Leonardo wanted to understand every detail of nature with scientific accuracy. He wrote in his notebooks that to understand the human body, he had dissected over 30 human corpses. He made over 240 anatomical sketches of muscles, nerves, bones, and organs, and wrote 13,000 words alongside, drawings that match modern scientific anatomy almost perfectly, even without the benefit of X-rays. He even sketched the digestive and reproductive systems, though no one knows exactly how he studied them. Leonardo believed that to show a smile or sadness on someone's face, he had to understand which facial muscles created those emotions. That's likely why the mysterious smile of the Mona Lisa still fascinates researchers today. To paint her, he used brushes finer than hair, and introduced optical illusion and sfumato, smoky tone, techniques. It took him 14 years to complete. 500 years later, despite extensive studies and modern tech, many mysteries of the painting remain unsolved. Leonardo made only a few artworks in his lifetime. One of his most famous is The Last Supper, which captures each disciple's emotional expression in incredible detail. Some researchers say if you digitally overlay his paintings, secret codes emerge, possibly pointing to alien connections. After his mysterious disappearance, Leonardo's sketches included not only art but also designs of flying machines and mechanical structures that were centuries ahead of their time. It was as if he had seen the future, through time travel or otherworldly knowledge. He even drew city maps from an aerial view, 500 years before satellites or airplanes existed. The Wright brothers invented airplanes in 1903, and Shivkar Bapuji Tolpade in 1895, but Leonardo had already designed flying machines by observing birds in great detail, frame by frame, without any slow-motion camera. His designs included helicopters, parachutes, and hand gliders, all based on principles of aeronautics and physics. These couldn't be built in his time due to lack of technology. But in 2000, a man named Adrian Nicholas built a parachute based on Leonardo's sketches, jumped from 10,000 feet, and landed safely. During Italy's civil war, Leonardo worked for several military commanders, designing weapons far ahead of his time, like a war chariot with rotating blades, similar to Balaladeva's chariot in Bahubali, a tank-like machine, multi-barrel guns, diving suits, and even an early robot. He also wrote about generating energy from sunlight, an early concept of solar power. In his final years, Leonardo lived in France, serving as the royal painter and engineer to King Francis I, residing in a beautiful castle. But his last writings reveal that he was deeply sad, regretting that he couldn't complete many paintings, including the Mona Lisa. Leonardo da Vinci passed away in 1519, at the age of 67. He believed, knowledge is power. He had an insatiable thirst to learn, and saw nature as a connected whole. He believed that art and science cannot be separated and that art is the highest form of science because it helps us see and understand the world. Friends, Leonardo da Vinci left behind many mysteries. His unimaginable intelligence, and his sudden transformation after his mysterious 2-year disappearance, still raise questions. Did he connect with aliens, travel through time, or receive knowledge from some universal source, as Nikola Tesla also hinted? To explore such topics, check out the GVG Motivation channel. And if you'd like to see more videos on similar subjects, do let me know in the comments. Stay happy, keep spreading joy, and never stop learning. Thank you.